One of the number one reasons why women struggle with dating and relationships today is that they choose men who are not ready for anything real. Ladies, there are lots of great relationship-ready men out here. However, you need to learn how to choose them. I wrote this book to teach you how to do just that. Get your copy of Choose Well, a simple formula to determine the best man for you on Amazon today. Good afternoon. This is a really random time for me to be going live, but this is the only time I got, and then I gotta jump back into session. So I just wanted to jump on really quickly. I wanted to give everyone, men and women, I wanted to give you something to think about. So before I take off, I got my notes here, and I just want to give every man and every woman under the sound of my voice, I want to give you something to think about. And it is, what is your mate desirability score? What is your mate desirability score? Meaning yours. How likely is it that someone will want to be in a relationship with you? Okay? What is your mate desirability score? Let me see if it'll let me. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what is going on. Okay, there we go. Okay, so this live, I'm sorry, y'all. I get these requests to go live. I'm not sure why. There we go. All right, so this live is all about how to determine your mate desirability score. This is one of the many questions I get asked a lot, where people want they want a genuine, honest assessment of them. And here's what I often tell people: unless I've worked with you for a specific length of time, so if we've been in coaching, if we've been in counseling for a while, I could probably give you that score a little bit better. But based on just a brief conversation on live or a brief conversation in one session, it's just not possible. But here's what I do encourage people to do. So I want you to do this for yourself, but then I want you to pick 2 other people to do it as well. And it should be 2 other people that genuinely know you. So whether it's 2 other people that you work with, it's 2 other people that are good friends of yours, 2 other family members, your significant other, your kids. Pick 2 other people and let them do it as well. So before I pull off, I'm actually going to talk to you about, these are the things that people are rating. Okay, these are the areas in which you want people to rate you. Number 1, your emotional regulation. Is it on the high end? Is it a 10? So you're great at regulating yourself emotionally and expressing yourself emotionally, or is it on the low end? Is it a 1 or a 0? Number 2 is your emotional intelligence. Is it on the high end? Do you know yourself? Are you able to manage your relationships well? Do you have good self-awareness? That will be a 10. Or is it on the low end? Is it a 0 or a 1? Your mental health. Is it on the high end? Is it on the low end? Your physical health and wellness. Is it on the high end? Is it on the low end? Now we're going to get a little trickier, because this is where some people would say it's subjective. So your looks, as far as your face, your facial feature look. So thinking about your looks, your facial features, is that on the high end? Is it on the low end? Then we're going to talk about your looks from the neck down, your body. Okay? So when we think about you from the neck down, is it on the high end of what people want? What, if you're a lady, what men want? If you're a man, what women want? Or is it on the low end? Okay? Then we're going to talk about how old you are. And yes, that matters. Oh, it gave me the little thumbs up because I gave it the thumbs up. Okay? How old you are matters. Okay? And whether you want to hear this or not, I'm going to speak some harsh truth. For men, as their age goes up, their mate desirability goes up. For women, as their age goes up, their mate desirability goes down. I would not say, now hear me well, for you take that out of context. I would not say nobody's checking for you because you're older. People are checking for me all the time. So just hear me well. But my pool of eligible men has shrunk considerably. That is a fact. Okay? When I was 25, my pool of eligible men was 18 to 90. Okay? You understand? Anita at 25 could have just about any man she wanted from 18 years of age to 90 years of age. Anita at 56, her pool of eligible men is, I don't know, 40 on a good day, all the way up to the grave. See how that pool just shrank on down? That's a fact. And the ladies may not want to hear that, but it's the truth. Okay? So your age matters. Then we're going to get into your social skills. What are your social skills like? Are you witty? Are you funny? Are you the type of person that can get along well with others, right? Are you fun at a party? That sort of thing. Your social skills. Is it on the high end? Is it on the low end? Then we're going to talk about financially. Where are you financially? And this is what I want y'all to understand. Some of these things will be different whether you're a man or a woman. There is a gender difference in some of this, okay? And I'm going to get to that in a minute. So finances, there's a gender difference. A woman making more money does not necessarily make her mate desirability go up. A man making more money makes his mate desirability go up. So for women, this is what I would say is important when we think about financial. How do you manage the money that you make? How do you spend it? How do you save it? Do you give any of it away? Do you contribute to causes or, are you charitable? But that one is different based on gender. Okay? Another one that's going to be different based on gender is height. So now we're going to add the height. Are you high on the height scale? So here's how it's different. Women who are taller, their mate desirability goes down. A taller woman is going to have a harder time finding a mate. Okay? Men who are shorter, your mate desirability goes down. Okay? See how that's different when you're talking about men and women? So height, that's the next one. Then we have weight. Again, most men have a weight threshold. Okay? So the heavier a woman is, your mate desirability is going down. Don't necessarily work like that for men, even though I do believe women have a weight threshold too. I don't want no 300-pound dude, if I'm being honest, okay? The next one we have is conflict resolution skills. How do you manage conflict? Is it on the high end, meaning I handle conflict very well? Is it on the low end? Okay? Next, we have intellect. Now, this is my jam right here. And this is what science tells us about intellect in terms of mate desirability. And this one really tees me off. This one really gets my goat because it says that men who are higher in intellect do better. They are more desirable as a mate as opposed to women who have a higher intellect. So that's always like made me feel a way because that's always been my thing, is being smart, being intellectual, knowing a lot about a lot. That's always been my thing, but apparently it makes me less desirable as a mate. Okay, so intellect. Then we have wisdom. And wisdom is all about making good choices, right? It's about making good long-term choices versus the short-term gratification. And this is what you need to know about wisdom. Wisdom is not about age. I know some 20-year-olds that are incredibly wise. I know some, 50-year-olds that are incredibly immature. So emotional maturity and wisdom. Is it on the high end? Is it on the low end? Okay. All right. Those are my notes. I can drive now because I'm going to talk while I drive, as y'all well know. But those are the categories that you need to sit down and you need to rate yourself. And you need to have other people rate you, right? So most people who know me, they will rate intellect as high, right? They will rate weight. You know, I rate high in weight, right? I have managed my weight all these years. I've managed to stay pretty much the weight I was at in college. I would get a lot of points for managing my weight. I would get a lot of points for being of average height. I would get a lot of points for intellect. I would get a lot of points for emotional regulation and mental health, physical health, you know. So I might get lower points for age. What's another one? I might get, well, no, I would get lower points for intellect because although my intellect is high, like I said, I don't think men care about that. I don't think men care about that. Can I be honest? Men don't care about my intellect. I would get low points for that and low points for age. Y'all. So, gentlemen, this is a hard assessment, but I've done this assessment. Like, I've done this assessment on some guys I know. And I told them very brutally, honestly, like, this is why you don't get women. Right here. These are the areas you score really low in. Most men score very low in social skills. Your social skills are horrible. You don't know how to talk to people. Your emotional intelligence, you score low. You don't know how to talk to people. You don't know how to hold a healthy conversation. You're not interesting. You don't know how to ask questions. Your social skills are poor. You are awkward. That's a lot of men today. And look, my good guy friend said, well, it's a lot of viable men out here. It's a lot of good men out here. I said, well, what you fail to realize is the women can't stomach them. They cannot stomach the fact that they can't hold a conversation. They're not emotionally intelligent. They're not emotionally available. Like, they are socially awkward. They're weird. So it's like, okay, we can't maintain attraction to those men. I have no doubt that the guy in IT is a good dude, right? I have no doubt that he's probably a good guy. You know, he'd probably make a great boyfriend or make a great husband. But if you can't maintain a level of attraction to a man, if you can't have a healthy conversation, if the man doesn't ask you questions or doesn't know what to talk about or doesn't know how to plan a date or doesn't know, like, that's a tough one. It's hard to maintain, it's hard to maintain an attraction to a man like that. So that's the problem. Like, we have to be well-rounded. And look, I'm not just picking on the men. Let me talk about the women. You ready? I'm not picking on the men. The women. So here's the other side of that coin. The women are not interesting. The women don't have anything of interest going on in their life. They don't have any hobbies or interests. Most of them don't have no friends. They don't go nowhere. They don't do anything. They are not interesting at all. And so when men say, well, all they're good for is to sleep with, okay, now I got to get on the women. You should be bringing value outside of your vagina. And if you're not, yeah, that's on you. I agree with them. You should be fun. You should be funny. You should be interesting. You should love to laugh. You should, you should know something about something. You should be helpful. You should cook, or you should do something. Okay. You should bring value in some sort of way. But if you as a woman don't bring any value to a man, yeah. Like, what else are you good for? And it's certainly, if you as a woman are not looking the absolute best you can. And guess what, ladies? The absolute best you can is not, as my grandfather used to say, it's not putting lipstick on a pig. It's not putting earrings and lipstick on a pig. You do the inner work and you make your outer look as good as it can look. You are healthy and fit. You have a skin regimen. You do the best you can with the hair God gave you, right? You do the best you can with what God gave you. And y'all already know, you're not going to like hearing this, but most men do not want all that crap on a woman. Most men don't. Y'all don't want to hear that, though. You don't want to hear it. You don't want to apply it to your dating. You just going to do you. You're going to wear all this fake hair and nails and lashes and all of it. You just going to do you. And I'm like, okay. I mean, who am I to tell you otherwise? But most good men, most solid dudes don't want that. They don't want that. They don't want fake butts and fake breasts and, they don't want that. But y'all will not listen. You won't hear it. You will not hear it. You will not listen. You're going to do you. And again, okay, you get what you get. You get what you get, but it's a certain type of man that you ain't going to get with all that crap on. I'm just saying. But do the best with what you have. Work on your inside. Because if I'm being honest, a lot of the stuff with women, it's not even on the outside. A lot of attractive women have self-esteem issues. They have confidence issues. They got all kind of issues. They got a bad attitude. They're not interesting. They're boring as heck. It's a lot of inner stuff. You have so many beautiful people walking around, but they're so underdeveloped on the inside. Don't nobody want that. Okay? So do the best you can with what God gave you and work on your inside. It's an inside job. That's what a lot of women are not doing. You are forgoing all the inner work. You're forgoing all of the, healing work and the inner work in place of, well, I'm going to get this surgery. Well, I'm going to get this hair put in. I'm going to get these nails. I'm going to dress in these clothes. I'm going to buy this designer bag. Don't nobody care about that like talking about. They really don't. Don't no men care about that. I hate to bust y'all's bubble, but don't no men care about that. They don't. They don't. So, but gentlemen, look the best you can look. I've said this before many times. What makes your mate desirability go down significantly is bad hygiene, is you not having a good haircut, being consistent in your grooming, brushing your beard, trimming your beard. A lot of y'all's beard is completely out of control. Your beard needs to be trimmed down and tight. Your beard should look right and tight. Okay? Cut your hair. Get a skin. Some of y'all need a skin regimen, if I'm being honest. Some of y'all skin look bad. Your nails look bad. Your hands look bad. Like, no, do something with yourself. Okay? And get a friend, preferably a female friend, to talk to you about the way you dress, the way your clothes fit. A lot of men wear ill-fitting clothes, or they're either dressed like a teenager or they're dressed like a dork. Like, do something with yourself and develop some sort of, basic casual grown man style, right? That's it. But get your hygiene in order. Get your mouth in order. Brush your teeth. Always have some mints or some gum on you. Take the toothpick out of your mouth. Okay? Just some basic hygiene will go far. And then, like I said, the social skills. Do y'all know how many men I know? How many men I know that's 5'6", 5'7", 5'8", all day long. And they keep a woman. They keep a woman. Because you know what? They know they have to overcompensate for that height. Right? And look, a lot of these dudes, 5'6", 5'7", 5'8", some of them are a little on the stocky side, but most of them are a $125 soaking wet. Like a $130 soaking wet. They ain't no big muscular dudes. They ain't, no. But they know they have to overcompensate for that. I have to be funny. I have to be smart. I have to be witty. I have to I have to be fun and fun loving. I have to have a certain amount of confidence and bravado. I got to bring, you got to make up for it. Y'all really be thinking that the tall, good looking, rich dudes get all the women. That's a lie. That's a lie. You know how I know it's a lie? Because most of the kids that the women are out here having are by the Pookies and the Ray Rays. And not all of them are tall. Most of them ain't rich, okay? Like, let's keep it 100. Most of them ain't rich, and a lot of them ain't tall. You having kids by all these dudes, but guess what them dudes have? These unemployed dudes, these dudes with no place of their own, these dudes with, but guess what they got? Guess what they got? Guess what them dudes got? They got a mouth game. They funny as heck. They're confident. Like, that's what some of y'all dorks need to get on. So some of you IT dorks, some of you security guards, and what's the other jobs? The bank guys. Y'all need to get some lessons. Like, if I'm being honest. Okay, baby face yams. What is the best way to start working on my feminine communication journey while in a relationship? Well, I'm going to ask you to pick up a copy of my book. It's called Do Well. Okay, A Feminine Woman's Guide to Relationship Success. I detail in that book exactly what you need to do. Okay, you get a copy of that book, you read it from cover to cover, and you're going to be just fine. You apply what you read, and you're going to be just fine. Okay, but I detail that in that book. Okay, but the first thing you got to learn how to do is just ask questions. Stop making so many assumptions. That's the one thing about women that drives me up the wall. They are so quick to make assumptions. Something ain't right. Something out of pocket. Something has got them in their feelings. And instead of just asking questions, y'all jump to conclusions. So stop doing that. You see a text or you see something in his phone or he getting in late or he look off. Okay, ask questions. That's the first thing I do is go, okay, what's going on here? Like, you okay? Or I saw this, and what does this mean? And this, see, I just ask questions. I don't jump to conclusions, but I ask questions. You gonna get some questions, okay? So, thank you. Great, thank you. So, yeah, you can. It has been proven. Science has proven that you can raise your mate desirability score. Right? Here's one thing to know about me. My score has remained pretty consistent throughout my life. Now that I am getting older, like I said, the pool of men is shrinking. That's a fact. That's a reality. Okay? I'm not going to pull a 20-year-old man. I'm not going to pull an 18-year-old man. I'm not going to pull a 25-year-old man. Okay? I'm not going to pull a 30-year-old man. That just is what it is. Okay? And let's go here. As my intellect has grown, my mate desirability score has gone down. I have actually had men who didn't know what I did. They asked me out on a date or we went out on a date and they found out what I did and I never heard from them again. So being a therapist lowers your mate desirability score, right? Nobody wants to sit across from a therapist. Nobody wants to be pathologized or nobody wants to be diagnosed. At least that's what they're thinking I'm doing, which I'm not. But that's okay. That's not my person. That's just not my person. But that has lowered, being a couples therapist has lowered my mate desirability score. Okay? What else on here? But my height has pretty much been the same. Weight has pretty much been the same. Intellect has gone up. I would say wisdom has gone up. I've started making good choices. I've made pretty okay choices. Communication skills has gotten better. Conflict resolution's gotten better. I say financially right now, because I got this big IRS debt, my score is low. Okay. Until I get the IRS off my back, my score is low financially. I got to pay them off. I'm done. I'm over them. So if I get them paid off, then I'll be looking better. But right now, my financial score is low because I got a big IRS debt that I'm working on. So anyway, but I really want you all to think about all of those. I'm going to mention them again, and I want you to write them down. So emotional regulation and expression. Emotional intelligence. That's how you manage yourself and how you manage the relationship with others. Your mental health, your physical health. And look, y'all, mental health is, do you suffer from, high anxiety? Do you suffer from severe depression? That is going, can I be honest? Can we be honest here? Okay. Can we just be honest for a second? If you experience depressive episodes like 10 times a year, where you can't get out of bed, you can't leave the house, that's going to lower your mate desirability. I'm sorry. That's just going to lower your mate desirability score. Can I be honest? Guess what's on my don't want list? I don't want a man with any serious mental health conditions. I don't want a depressed man. I don't want an overly anxious man. Okay, that lowers me wanting to be with someone. If someone came to me, and I'm just being honest on this live, if they said, well, I take medication for depression, I would say pass. I would pass on them. God bless you. I send you off with the love of the Lord, but that's not something that I think I could deal with in a partner. I cannot have a husband or a man that has these depressive episodes, that has bipolar, that has, a lot of anxiety, any serious mental health conditions. I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no to that. Okay. So that's when we talk about mental health. Okay. And how y'all feel about that is how y'all feel about that. That's what we talk about. Physical health and wellness. Looks from the neck up. From the neck up. Okay. Now I have been told, this is what I've been told. Because I told y'all, I give myself a 6. I have been told from the neck up, I'm a 8. That's what they say. Okay? I've asked many a person, rating me from the neck up, rating me from the neck down. Okay? So, what is your score from the neck up? Do you have a face that is symmetrical? Do you have a face that societally people would say is an attractive face, a handsome face or a beautiful face? I have been given the score of 8. Okay, from the neck up. Then you got from the neck down. Now there was a time where from the neck down, I was given a 9.5. That's 20, 22, 23, 24-year-old Anita got a 9.5 from the neck down. Okay. I'd probably say it's I don't know, might be a 7. Might be a 7. All right. Then you got financially, right? And remember, this is the one where it's going to be different between men and women. Okay. Thank you, Tori. Okay. It's different between men and women. You ready? So financially, men making more, good. Women making more, no. Okay. So understand that. Financially is different between the genders. Okay. Then you have age. Women getting older, men getting older, okay? That's different amongst gender. And again, that's science. How you feel about it is how you feel about it. The next one is social skills. How are your social skills? Are you funny? Are you witty? Are you a good conversationalist, right? Or are you shy? Are you awkward? Okay? The next one is your communication skills. How you communicate information, verbally, in writing, body language. The next one is conflict resolution. How do you manage conflict? Do you run away? Do you shut down? Do you get all big and rah-rah? Oh, and scream and yell and punch stuff. The next one is height. This is another one based on gender. Tall height for man, good. Tall height for woman, bad. Okay? The next one is weight. This is another one based on gender. Big, bulky, brawny, muscular for men, good. Big, heavy, big, bulky for women, bad. Okay? The next one is intellect. And science has proven that women who have higher education, women who are super smart, bad. Men who are super smart, men who have higher education, good. Okay? The next one is wisdom. That's the last one. Wisdom is all about the choices you make. What type of choices have you made throughout your life? Have they been good, positive, productive choices that have led to good, positive, long-term results? Or have you been reckless? Have you been careless? Have you been focused on short-term gratification over long-term satisfaction? Okay, that's the list. I want you to think about each one of those categories. Give yourself between a 1 and a 10 or even a 0. Because some of these, you might be a 0. Okay? So between 0 and 10, and then add that score up. That's your mate desirability score. And remember, you're going to give 2 other people this. So we're not just going to rely on your good judgment, because a lot of y'all don't have no self-awareness. You think you a 9. Like, can I hurt some feelings? You ready? Y'all think y'all a 9. Y'all think, I've had some women tell me they were a 10. The boldness to say you are a 10, and you know better. You know you ain't no 10. I'm a 10. I'm a 10. No, you're not. No, you're not. Baby, you're not. Okay? So some of y'all think you a 9. You're probably a 4. Maybe a 5. And that's just keeping it real. That's just keeping it real. Be honest. But give this to 2 other people and see what they think. And be ready. Have your emotional bulletproof vest on. Be ready for the truth. Okay? I've done stuff like this throughout my entire life. I've given it to people like, hey, rate this, rate my emotional intelligence, rate that, rate this, right? And I got my feelings hurt. Look, my kids say, and look, one of my friends and my kids say, oh, your emotional intelligence is low. Yeah, emotional intelligence is low. That's because I tell people about themselves. I tell people about themselves. Okay? I don't hold back. Your emotional intelligence is low. Oh, thank you, sweetheart. She said, I found your YouTube videos yesterday. I've been binge watching. Thank you. I appreciate you. Please subscribe. Please subscribe. But yeah, they gonna call me out because I do be busting people out. That's just the gift God gave me. God gave me the gift of just frankness, right? Being direct. And he said, go forth, my daughter, and use this gift for good. It's like, tell people about themselves. That's what the Lord said. So, but anyway, I just want to talk about this because I have been noticing that some people, y'all want something in a mate that is a little higher. It's not as my ex used to say, looks compatible. He loved saying that. Are they looks compatible? That was his phrase. You know, you're not looks compatible, or you're not financially compatible, or you're not intellect compatible. Can I be real? There's been several men I have dated that just went out once or twice, and that was it. We were not intellectually compatible. Like, baby, you got to stimulate this. It's like a mind screw, right? The men that really do it for me, it's like a mind screw. Okay, they are talking at such a high level, and I'm just like, oh my God, this is amazing. Like, this is the best conversation I've ever had. Like, if you want to get Anita, that's how you gonna do it. You're gonna whip out that intellect. You're gonna whip out everything you've ever learned at any point in your life. That's what you got to do with me. Don't come talking about, did you see the debate? What? Like, huh? Did you watch Love and Hip Hop? Excuse me? Like, no, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't talk. No, don't do that. Okay? You got to intellectually stimulate me. But it was several guys where I was just bored to tears. They brought nothing intellectually. There was no wit. There was no banter. Like, we got to tussle. We got to banter. And look, we got to disagree. Like, you want to turn me on? Let me bring up something and let you have a reputable argument against it. And we tussle. I'm like, good God Almighty. Like, I want this man. We got to tussle. But if I can't do that with you, if I can't kind of get into these little intellectual scuffles, no, I can't. You can't be my man. No, I can't do it. Okay. All right. So I just wanted to, my daughter done poked her head out. I just wanted to talk about mate desirability because some of y'all think y'all mate desirability is high. It ain't. And how about this? Some of y'all think your mate desirability is low and it's higher than you think. It's higher than you think. So you got to take my little test and put each one of those on a line and score it and then let other people do it. Okay? And find out where you really are. All right? Now, like I said, this where I'm going to get the pushback, and I'm going to go ahead and say this. So the looks, that's where I'm going to get the pushback. Some people are going to say looks above the neck is subjective. Looks below the neck is subjective, right? Some people are going to say that. But here's how I'm going to push back. Now, we all know societally, we all know what society deems as attractive. Okay, so don't play those silly games. Okay, don't play those silly games. Society does not find a woman with a big fupa attractive. Society does not find a 300-pound man attractive, right? Society does not say, "Ooh, that's what everybody wants." No, they don't. No, they don't. Society does not find men with high squeaky voices or zero muscle tone. Man boobs. No, baby. Society at large does not think a man with man boobs, if your cup size is bigger than mine, okay, that's a no. That's a no. Okay, so stop that. I've had some people push back on the looks. Well, that's subjective. Beauty's in the eye of the beholder. Okay, we talking about most people beholding. If most people beholding would say I'm an 8 or a 7, okay, then we can rely on that score. But come on now, don't do that. Okay, don't do that. I've had a couple people push back. You know the type of nose that most people find attractive. You know the type of lips. You know the type of eyes. You know the facial structure, right? Come on now. Come on. Look, I'm about to bust somebody clean out. I'm going to name names too. What's the little dude name that's on Fresh and Fit? Okay, so Fit is the lighter one, the taller, thinner one, the more fit one. That dude Fresh, what's his name? I don't even know. But can we all agree that he is no Casanova? Okay? The little dude Fresh and Fit, he's short, he's stocky, and his face is not pleasant to look at. like, I got to say it. Okay? So most people in society, most women in society, that's not their dream man. Okay? That's a perfect example. Fit. Now we know the guy, Fit Myron. He is more socially acceptable to more people, right? He is taller. He is thinner. His facial structure is more attractive. Now he has inside of him is horrible. So he opens his mouth and he becomes incredibly unattractive. But if he never opened his mouth and you never knew who he was, women would choose him over choosing Fresh. And y'all can agree with that. Okay? Fresh is not a stereotypically attractive man in society. So, I say all that to say, don't get clever. You know what I'm talking about. Even when you say beauty is subjective, body shape is subjective. No, baby. There are certain things that most women don't want. There are certain things that most men don't want. Right? Most men want healthy size breasts. They want a healthy size behind. They don't want a big fupa. They don't want a flap hanging over. No. Most men don't want that. They don't want a woman with big flabby arms. They don't want a double chin. So stop playing these games, okay? It irritates me when people come in the comments and y'all play these dumb little games. You know what I'm talking about, okay? You know that if you looked in the mirror, okay, am I what society would say is a 5 or a 7 or a 9, right? And is my body a 5, a 7, a 9? Be honest. Be brutally honest with yourself. If you can't be honest with nobody else, be honest with yourself, okay? I have held on to my figure all these years because I'm a fitness fanatic, because I love to walk every day, because I am active, because I'm not, sitting around watching television, eating whatever I want. And as I've gotten older, what I eat changes. I can't eat out like I used to. I can't, I used to love cereal. This is a perfect story. When I tell y'all your girl loves cereal, I still love cereal. But guess what? The cereal went from Captain Crunch. The cereal went from Fruit Loops and Apple Jacks. Apple Jacks is my jam to this day. Okay? So Apple Jacks, Fruit Loops, and Frosted Flakes, and Captain Crunch. That was my jam. Now that I am 56, guess what the cereal consists of? Raisin Bran, shredded wheat, okay? Shredded wheat, Raisin Bran. Every now and again, I'm allowed some honey bunches of oats and honey nut Cheerios. The cereals have changed because guess what? I can't eat all that sugar. I can't drink the milk. That's over. That's 30 years ago. But when I was younger, I lived in my 20s. When I didn't have much money, I would eat SpaghettiOs out of the can, cold. I would eat tuna out of the can. Y'all have y'all ramen stories. I wasn't that keen on ramen. I still am not. I'm not a big ramen person. But I would eat tuna out of the can, SpaghettiOs out of the can, ravioli out of the can, and then my cereal. I always did. I kid y'all not. When I was in college, every night ended with me eating a bowl of cereal. And every one of my roommates said, like, here we go. Here we go. Anita about to, and look, we be sitting up till 2 a.m. and Anita will have her bowl of cereal. Why you gotta always eat cereal? I love some cereal. But guess what? It's certain cereal I can't eat no more. And now, look, my little system need the bran. I need the fiber. Okay, so I got damn Raisin Bran. Look, I'm probably going in there now and have a bowl of Raisin Bran. Can I be real? Going in there and have some of the shredded wheat, the little shredded wheat I got in there. Just talking about cereal. So you can't eat like you did when you was 20, sweetheart. If you over 35, and look, don't let your behind go through perimenopause or menopause. Nope. I can't eat anything spicy. Can't eat anything hot. I feel it right here. Right here. Look, I try to eat them wings and them wings be right here. Can't do it. So you need to adjust. You need to adjust your diet as you get older. Okay? Because what you was eating, look, I used to eat Twinkies. I'm ashamed to admit this, but Hostess, I should have had stock in Hostess. So if it wasn't Twinkies or it wasn't the little snowballs and the ding dongs, and I love me some Hostess. I love me some Hostess. I can't touch none of that crap. I can't eat that crap. So, yeah. You need to make some changes. You need to make some changes in your diet. You need to move around. Y'all need to stop trying to park as close as you can to every store you going in. No, you park clean out there where there ain't no cars. That's what a lot of y'all need to do. You go clean out there and walk your behind into Target. Walk your behind into Walmart. Okay? So that's it. But to the gentleman out there that you can't do a thing about your height, here's what you can do. You can get smarter. You can be more well-read. You can be funny. You can develop your social skills. You can get bolder. You can be brave. You can approach. You can do things that other men, tall men, don't do. And when I tell you that'll take you far in life, it'll take you far in life. Okay? So this mate desirability score, it can be changed. It can go up. It can go down. And there are things you can do to make it go up. Okay? I just wanted to give this very practical talk. This is all evolutionary psychology. This is all about evolutionary science. Okay? Some of these things are deep in our DNA. A lot of times men get frustrated over the things that women want or like or whatever. Baby, you don't need to be frustrated by that. That's a complete waste of energy to be frustrated because you're 5'8". Put your energy somewhere else. Be the best 5'8" man you know how to be. Okay? That's my advice to you. And my advice to the women, if you are a short stubby woman, right? You are a short, more full-figured woman. I would say, okay, work on, maintaining your weight. Don't get, don't balloon up, but develop your personality, develop your warmth, develop your femininity, develop your inner self. Because can I be real? I got girlfriends that's overweight. I got girlfriends that's looks challenged and overweight. They may not be as physically attractive as me, but they have a knockout personality. They're fun. They're married. They are happily married because they have developed other sides of themselves. They're warm and fun and funny. So yes, develop your personality. If there are things about you you can't change, that means you definitely got to be feminine. You definitely have to be soft. You have to be sweet. You have to be just fun to be around. You have to be interesting. And that's the part a lot of people are just not doing. Y'all are remaining stuck in these ways, and it's hurting you. So that's the advice for today. I got to go. All right. Have a great day. It is a beautiful fall day here, y'all. The leaves are falling like crazy. I am going to harvest the last of the tomatoes on my tomato tree. I have a tree. So the tomatoes grow so high and so far, I have to like put all these stakes on them, and it's like a tree. It's like a tomato tree. So I'm going to harvest all the tomatoes on my tree, and then that's a wrap. That's a wrap. Look, some of my gardening friends was like, well, you going to plant for the fall? You going to plant some fall stuff? No, I'm exhausted. My dog has tore up my garden. I'm exhausted, y'all. I'm not doing that this year. I'm not planting anything for the fall. I'm just, from here until spring, I'm going to take a break. So, but it's a beautiful day. I still have clients to see. I'm getting ready to run into the house real quick and then head back. Have a great rest of your day. If you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel. We're trying to grow the channel. I have almost 70,000 subscribers on Instagram. I would love to have 70,000 subscribers on YouTube. Okay, that would really make a difference. So subscribe to the channel. It is Better Love Movement. And like the videos, share them with anyone you think could benefit. And I appreciate you all. Thank you so much. Have a great day. And as always, stay open to love.